All right. Hey, everyone. Mark here, Mark P. Markets. Thank you for joining me for another Bitcoin analysis session. I apologize for the delay. I've been having internet problems today. So first thing I want to tell you is if this thing cuts out, just please wait like 5 minutes. Please be patient and just wait for it to come back on. All afternoon, like the internet has been going in and out. So that happens sometimes when it's hot, when the weather is hot. Anyway. So sorry about that. Let's get this thing started. Shall we? Let's move quickly here because I know I'm behind. So first thing is, this is for educational purposes only. For investment advice, please consult a licensed investment advisor. All right. Now, another thing I just have to mention real quick. I cannot see my questions on TradingView. I'm simulcasting on there, but I can't see if people write me any questions. So Stian or Alex or someone, if you can do this, if questions pop up in that chat, if you can just paste them here, or people on TradingView, just go to the YouTube channel because I cannot see your questions over there. So if you ask questions and I don't answer them, it's because I can't see them. I'm just letting you know. All right. So I know some people are going to chime in like in 30 minutes. He's not answering my question. I'm just telling you, can't see them. So I can only see the stuff on YouTube right now. Again, technical problems all day today. All right. So anyway, with that, let's get the stream started, shall we? Hey, Steen, it's good to see you, and Alex, and we got Johan. All right, Howard, James, good to see you all. Okay. Yeah. Well, no. So for some reason, I don't know. I just noticed whenever whenever the weather's a certain way, the internet goes in and out, and I don't understand why. But anyway, all right. So here's the thing. First things first, as you know, this is how I conduct the stream. The first section we talk about is the economic calendar, right? So we're going to talk about that here in a moment. The next area we talk about usually has to do with the title of the stream, which is the Bitcoin analysis, and talking about, in this case, trade the signal, not the hype. I've been seeing a lot of hype, particularly on YouTube. These ridiculous titles are coming back. It's unbelievable that people still are naive and gullible enough to believe this nonsense. So we're going to talk about that. Okay. I'm not going to rant for like 3 hours, but we are going to talk about what is important to look at and how best to manage yourself in this environment. Okay. So we're going to talk about that. And then of course, I'm going to answer your questions. So if you have a question about a stock or an altcoin, now would be a good time to share it in the channel. And then when I get to that section, we'll take a look at your chart and I'll give you some perspective. Okay. So with that, let's get started. Also, if you want to share what country or what city you are from, that's always a fun fact. I'm from the greater New York City area, also known as Northern New Jersey, in case you're wondering why I speak funny sometimes. Okay. Everyone speaks like that around here. Well, no, I'm joking. Okay. Anyway. Hey, DGen, good to see you. All right. And Raman. Okay. Isaac. Hey, how are you? Good to see you all. All right. So first things first, let's go over the economic calendar. Now, one thing, so I'm going to test you guys on that. So sometimes I'll talk about the calendar. Sometimes I'm going to ask you guys questions about the calendar because you guys should be in this habit every month. This game is about routines in case you haven't figured that out yet. And you must have a routine for every aspect of the game, particularly when you're putting on trades and managing risk. But when it comes to evaluating your environment, you should also have a routine. That's what my training is all about. Some people still have a problem grasping that. But anyway, so one of the things that I like to do at the beginning of the week is check the economic calendar. TradingView has its own economic calendar, but you can check any calendar. It doesn't matter which one you check. The thing is, you're looking for certain types of news items, right? They're not all important. In fact, most of the items aren't important at all. You're only looking for certain ones. So this week, who can tell me what they think is important? And I'll let you know right now if it is or if it isn't. Most of the items that come out each week are unimportant. Like, for example, the week before, we had a pretty heavy week. We had the FOMC on Wednesday. We had the ECB interest rate decision on Thursday, and we had the Bank of Japan also on Thursday, right? Those are all pretty important events. But outside of that, there were many other things on the schedule, but they're not that important. They don't carry that much weight unless you're in specific Forex pairs or things like that. But most of the time, they're non-events. Okay. So anyone want to tell me what's on this week's economic calendar that they think is important. This is important that you guys chime in. Don't feel bad. I'm not going to make fun of you if you say something that I don't agree with or whatever. I'm just going to give you perspective on it, right? So don't be bashful. Don't be shy. Raman says NFP Friday. Raman, I think that's the only thing worth mentioning this week. Non-farm payrolls comes out the first Friday of every month. Now, see, Raman is good. He's a student. He's been following me a long time. That is probably every month, right? First Friday, non-farm payrolls comes out. It's the U.S. employment report, and that report can move markets, right? So that is important to be aware of. Outside of that, is there anything else you want to mention? Anything else, right? Do you see any FOMC meetings? Probably not. Do you see any other rate announcements from any other countries? Probably not. Maybe there's one, or I don't even know if there's one in there. I had not noticed any. Do you see any other reports in there? Worth mentioning? Anyone? But thank you, Raman. That's the key one. This is the main one, all right, that you really want to pay most attention to, and that is non-farm payrolls. So, again, you have to understand that going into such a report, which is, again, that's Friday at 8:30 a.m. Eastern time. That means Thursday afternoon, Thursday night, those are usually going to be lower volume than usual markets, which are usually bad environments for things like day trades, right? Now, that brings me to a point that I want to mention here. Someone sent me a very interesting question, and I think it's very valuable for all of you to hear the answer to this. Now, he mentioned that, he's been doing pretty well, right? He's a student. He's been doing pretty well over the previous few months, but over the recent few weeks or whatever, he gave back a good portion of the profit that he's made, okay, with day trades. And he asked me, was there any advice or any perspective or anything that I can provide? And here's the thing. I said, so when was this, when you gave back the money, when was this? Recent few weeks, okay? The reason why this is so important is because I keep saying over and over and over again, volume is seasonal. And this is particularly important for day traders. Volume is not constant. Although we look at charts, you pull up the volume histogram and you think, oh, but there's plenty of volume. No, it's not like that, okay? There are periods during the year when there is a general amount of volume that is good for certain types of strategies. And then there are periods of the year where there's not enough volume or it's just not good enough. Let me give you an analogy to compare to, all right? Even if you're not a poker player, I think you'll get this. So imagine you are a professional poker player, okay? You go to a casino to play cards as a job. You're not going there to have fun, right? Now, as a professional poker player, when you'd want to pick a time of day when there are people at the tables, right? So you're not going to go at like 10 a.m. on a Thursday, Thursday, 10 a.m. There's like no one at the tables. There's like one table with 3 people, and these 3 guys are regulars that are here all the time. So they know everyone's tricks. They know everything. They sit here 8 hours a day and they play cards. Now, do you think it's reasonable to think that you're going to sit at that table and that's going to be a high probability table to make money from? If you think that, you are foolish, right? But that example, of course not. There's no one at the table. How am I going to make any money? Exactly, right? The markets work the same way. So when, as a professional card player, when would you want to come to the poker room? You want to come on Friday night, prime time, when all the drunken tourists the tables are full of drunken tourists, right? They're not here to replace their job. They're here to have fun, and they don't care how much it costs. That means there's going to be a lot of money floating around. They're going to be they're going to go all in on every hand because they don't know what else to do, right? They're just drunk. They're mindless. They don't care. That's the market. Same idea. So right now, this period of time from May till October, we are in that Thursday, 10 a.m. poker room time. Like who the hell is in there on Thursday at 10 a.m.? I'm sure there's some people in it, but you understand my point. Compared to Friday night at 10 a.m. prime time. We are not in prime time volume. So what do? You stay away. You don't trade. Okay, you trade less. You paper trade. You be extremely selective. And what I personally do, because I day trade, what I personally do is I trade a lot less. Okay. I have no problem missing. I know there's nothing to miss out on, right? I trade maybe if I trade 3 days in the week, that's a lot. That's a busy week. Okay. Sometimes I'll trade 1 day and that's it. All right. The other thing is if my first trade is green, I'm done. I don't continue to trade because I know I'm playing a very random game, especially in an environment that is not very supportive. So that's a very important thing to consider for this environment, okay? Whether you swing trade, whether you day trade. Now, that may not make sense to you because when you look at a chart, you're like, but there's action. Markets are moving. Right. So you may make money this one time, but you don't realize that, in the next few days, you're going to get caught in noise. And whatever you make now, you're going to give back anyway, right? That's the nature of this environment. Do not force trades. Especially do not listen to others trying to stimulate you. Because now imagine you're trying to make money. All right. You feel some pressure to make money. You had some losing trades. You want to make it back. You're going on Twitter. You read news on Twitter or you see some garbage on YouTube and they're telling you this coin is going to move next and blah, 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 and this and that. And you believe it because you're looking for lies. You understand? So that's a very important lesson. Yeah, Raman, less is more. Paper trade, right? You're not going to miss out. If you have a problem with missing out, you have a greed problem. And that is not something I can help you with. A lot of people suffer from that problem, right? They can't miss out. They have to be in this. They have to be in that. They have to make money. I have to pay bills, blah, blah, blah. If that's you, you are not going to have a good time, especially over the next month, because going in, like I said, things usually don't return back to normal or what I like to think of as supportive volume until October. Okay, I'm going to say that again. October. That's quite a ways from now, right? That's at least 6 to 8 weeks or whatever. So August is notoriously the worst month. I can go back into the year 2000 when I first started out in this game. Okay, back in those days, I remember it was the same story. And the big guys back then, I couldn't understand it at the time. They would just leave. They would leave the office. Man, these guys are crazy, man. They're going to miss out. And things were good back then. And they would still leave the office, right, during lunchtime, take 3 hours off and whatever, or take the afternoon off during the summer. They just wouldn't bother because they knew, right? And it hasn't changed. So please, I know it's a long rant there, but that's a very important lesson that you have to utilize and it will improve your performance. Don't take your performance personally during this period because the random nature is even greater, right? So it works now, but tomorrow the same exact thing won't work because it's just random. Don't be fooled by action on the chart. We need drunken tourists to be in the market. Right now, if it's all algos and institutions and whatever, you're not going to take money out of their pocket, okay? Just letting you know. Okay. Now August is the worst month for everything, Stian, everything. Stocks, coins. It's just general volume. And why do you think this is? Because all the drunken tourists go away, right? I mean, especially you guys in Europe. You guys go away for like 3 months, man. You guys, I'm on holiday for 2 months. Man, actually, I don't have any holidays myself. But, usually here in the U.S., people go away for like a week, maybe 2 weeks or something like that. But I'm going away. I'm going to go to the mountain for like 3 months. That's what you guys do in Europe, man. You guys are crazy. So anyway, so that's a very important thing. Thank you, Stian. Thank you. Great. Yeah. So TradingView people, I cannot see. Thank you, Stian, for doing that for me. Thank you very much. TradingView people, I cannot see your questions. So Stian is going to copy and paste them into YouTube, or if you want to give him a break, just come over to YouTube and ask a question. I apologize. And Malad, if you're over there, I can't see you. Anyway, because he usually comes in there. The only follower from New York says hello. If I can't see you, I can't see the chat on TradingView. All right, so I apologize for that. Anyway, I'm going to have to remind people. So that's the first lesson that I wanted to bring to you guys. Understand your environment. Understand your environment. Now, speaking of that, someone had made some comments, some very helpful comments in our active investor chat, just giving some feedback on a few things like the trade scanner. And he asked some questions in there, like, how do you use the ATR? Or, can we get some more perspective? And when I see stuff like that, I mean, it's good that people ask questions, right? That's what we're there for. But at the same time, right, he made this point that, he was not as experienced as me, right? Because I have all this experience and he needs the perspective. And I get that. But we have people in the chat, people like Alex, who's here, who he doesn't have 20 years of experience, right? As far as I know, but he comes to every stream that I do. He comes to every student meeting. He completed all the homework assignments, right? He pretty much, if he reads all my articles, like he does everything. He puts in a lot of effort. And guess what? He seems to be doing okay. And he doesn't seem to have any problems gathering information and perspective and developing context in this environment. Well, it's no surprise. The guy puts in a lot of effort, right? So you do have to put in some effort. Like, I can't do everything for you, although we're trying, right? Stian has done this great job of putting together, he's making some new developments for the trade scanner to where the trade scanner does the ATR calculation for you and gives you the stop and the take profit. That's a really cool thing. It's not out yet, but he's testing it. He's working on it. And that's something that we're developing. Anyway, I just wanted to put that out there. Okay. This game does require some effort. You do have to do something, right? You do. You have to do some, just do me that favor and just be patient. Let me see. Am I coming back on? Okay. Yeah. So I may go offline. Just please be patient. All right. So enough of me ranting and talking. Let's get into the chart, shall we? Because that's what everyone's here for. All right, cool. So let's go over Bitcoin now, and let's go over the situation. As you can see, today's title is Trade the Signal, Not the Hype. There is a lot of hype, in case you haven't noticed, right? XRP, right? You remember that XRP nonsense? XRP Moon and all that other garbage? Please, people, these videos are getting 15,000, 20,000 views. Are there still that many gullible people out there? Have you seen XRP since that SEC news from 2 weeks ago or whatever? It's gone nowhere. There's no moon. Okay. The only moon is not the one in the sky. All right, it's a bad joke. So if you get that joke, shame on you. All right. Anyway, so let's talk about Bitcoin and what you should expect and what is reasonable and what is the signal. First thing is, and I pointed this out in the article, Bitcoin is in an ideal location, right? But here's the confusing part. Let me point this out here. I'm going to draw like a little thing there. Hold on. Where is it? It's over here, right? Let me draw this. So this section right here, okay? See this section? And I'm going to make it big so you guys can see it. So that section right there, you see that section? That is a corrective move. Notice that corrective move started with this outside bar. See that big red candle? It's not exactly an outside bar, but that failure, that was a breakout failure. I talked about that at the time. That should have been the breakout to 33K, but it failed, right? That failure was very telling. And when you see something like that third one should have been the move, and it turned the wrong way, which means people were caught, right? Now, these people are caught and they're paying. This is what happens when you stay in and you don't use a stop. So do you have this structure inside of this blue square that I'm drawing here? That is a corrective structure. That is not a bearish trend, as everyone likes to think. You know, if you talk to a fraud, oh, the trend is bearish. Yeah, on a 5-minute chart, maybe. But a 5-minute chart or a 15 or a 30-minute, those don't carry any weight when it comes to what matters. What matters is the bigger picture. That's where all the weight is. The bigger picture is where you can derive probabilities from that are more coherent or more consistent, I guess you can say, or more reliable. Not a 5-minute chart. Okay, that's for day trades, and the levels may work. They're highly random, right? And they're really only good for reference points. And waiting for confirmation is so important, particularly on those smaller time frames. But my point is this movement here, do not confuse that for bearish. Now, I mentioned this because the trade scanner is calling shorts during this period. And it's doing that because the smaller time frame momentum inside of here is bearish. But that comes into conflict with the bigger picture. The bigger picture from, like Alex can tell you, Stian can tell you, Raman can tell you, the bigger picture is we are in a major support, okay? And that carries all the weight, not the 4 hour, not the 1 hour, not the 30-minute, the daily chart. That carries all the weight. So knowing this idea that we are at a major support, which I've outlined, this square has been on my chart. This square right here has been on my chart for like a few weeks. 29.5 to 28.3, basically. That's a high probability support zone. So if we're in that zone and you're getting sell signals, whether it's your own signals, whether it's the trade scanner, you should regard them with little weight. They're low expectation. They're low probability. Why? You don't sell into support levels because people are very happy to buy it from you there. We don't have a catalyst yet to get this thing moving, but this is not about the future. This is about probability, right? We don't, there's no way to know the future. People want me to tell, oh, where is it going to be in a month? I want to know. There's no way to know. Markets are random. All we can know is this is a high probability location where a long, if it develops, is more likely to be the way to go, right? Why? Why long? Why should a long, is it long because I feel like it's a long? Because I think I'm cool? No, it's long because the general structure is bullish. The market says that, not me. I listen to the market. I don't listen to me, okay? This right here is a bullish structure. If you know anything about trends and you know how to evaluate trends, you recognize that this is a short-term bullish structure. And when you have a higher low within a short-term bullish structure, especially if it's above the 50% point or it's around that 382, that's still generally bullish, right? 382, what's that? If I do this, it's basically fooling around the 382 retracement area, okay? That's typically a support level, a trend support level. That's a secondary, no, don't get crazy with that. That's a secondary confirmation type thing. That's not primary, but you get the idea. So you don't want to be looking for shorts here. That's the first thing. Anyone that says short, even if my trade scanner says short, you don't get involved with that. Or if you want to, you go small. It's a low probability trade. You can try to take a day trade. Ethereum was also called short. By the way, my trade scanner light, speaking of Ethereum, I'm just going to say this real quick. My trade scanner light looks at Ethereum and it missed the short trade. Okay. The regular trade scanner called it. The light one missed it. It's because I made a mistake with something, a technical thing. But the trade scanner light should be pushing out these trades. They're going to be maybe, you may get 1 or 2 a week, maybe less. I made it that way purposely, right? It only looks at 3 markets. It's free, by the way. The Trade Scanner Lite is free. So if you're not a member of my community, a free member, you could join. There's a link in the description. It's free. There's a channel called Trade Scanner Lite. And in that channel, these trade ideas from my trade scanner will appear. But there's only 3 markets that it will evaluate. And that is Ethereum, that is Aussie dollar, the Forex pair, and also Apple stock. That is all it will look at, nothing else. So you're not going to see Bitcoin in there. You're not going to see, any other Forex pairs. It's only those 3. So that means trade ideas will be very sporadic. You may get 1 a week, maybe 2, right? But you're not going to get a lot. The idea is so that you can see what the trade scanner calls look like. And when we get version 2.0 out, meaning, Stian gets this thing hooked up where we have the take profit and stop loss, it's going to be even better because you'll have all the information laid out for you. You would just have to place the orders. Now, I just wanted to mention that real quick. But my point is this. The trade scanner is calling Bitcoin short. It's calling Ethereum short. The Ethereum I saw was green, right, based on the spreadsheet that Stian showed me. But those are low probability because of the location. So going back to the title here, okay, trade the signal, not the hype. What is the signal? What is, since we've determined that the bigger picture here is the daily chart, the signal is first, right? First, we have to be in the location. The signal is the candle, right? Now, I'm going to talk about the swing trade. By the way, the trade scanner is meant for swing trades, but it can be used for day trades if you know how to make the adjustments, right? Now, the signal can come in a few ways. This is where having some sort of routine or trade plan becomes extremely important. Some way, some set of rules to determine how you get in and out of the market, and that you can follow every time without any feelings, without any, oh, I'm not sure. No, it's either yes or no, right? And it's based on a set of rules. That's what my training program is about. So based on that idea, okay, we are in a location. We know that the general trend is bullish. That's steps 1 and 2 right there, right? So you should know one thing. I'm looking for longs on the bigger picture. No other question. There's no, well, maybe, I'm not sure. I'm looking for longs. Do I get everything else to confirm the long? Yes or no? That's it, okay? Now, that brings us to, we need to evaluate the price action, or the candle, the candles that are that unfold inside of this support area. Now, here was the point that I made in my article that I wrote on TradingView. Because the short-term momentum is bearish, and we have nothing but lower highs, right? I see a lower high. I see a lower high over here, right? A lower low can develop, and that's what we're seeing right now. Look, bearish pin bar on the daily. So do I want to step in front of that? Is that a reason to go long? Not this current candle, but what about the candle before it, right? This is a bullish pin bar on the candle before, even though it's not green. It doesn't have to be green. There's a tail on the bottom of it. It took out the high of the pin bar. That could have been an active swing trade long, right? But it turned. This is not what you want to see. If you're long something like this, you're either getting out now for the small loss, you're tightening your stop, you're doing something, because this is the wrong candle, right? Then the candle from a good signal should look like this. It should be moving. There should be follow through, not giving it back, right? So that's how you know, first of all, that's not what I want to see. This candle closes like this and takes out the low. There's no reason to be long anymore if you had taken it. I never called that, by the way, because here's why. Because of the environment, because I see these lower highs, what I want to see as far as the signal goes has 2 parts to it. The first part is the pattern, right? The chart pattern. I want to see a double bottom or a failed low, right? That's not always a requirement, but I want to see one in this situation, because I see that we have a bearish structure, right? Even though it's a short-term bearish structure, a lot of times they stay intact until you see a failed low or a double bottom, right? That's usually a sign of reversal. We don't have that here yet, although we may get one. So if I see over the next couple of days a bullish pin bar develop here, right in this area, okay, right at that low where all those shorts start piling in, right? All your morons who watch the 4-hour chart or the 1-hour chart or whatever, and Bitcoin's going to zero, right? Those guys. Well, if I see that, okay, and I see something like this develop, like right there, that's a long. That's the signal, right? That's not the hype. That's the signal, and that's what I want to see. That's a failed low, that's an equivalent of a double bottom. It's like a double bottom variation. And if I see that within a broader bullish trend in a support area where that is likely to develop, that is the kind of selective trade that I like to see. Something like that I would call in my signal channel, which my people have access to. That's separate from the trade scanner. The trade scanner is still going to be looking for shorts. All right. Now I want you to understand the contrast here. I'm looking for longs because the trade scanner cannot see all of this, right? The trade scanner cannot account for all of this, right? But I can. So I know that this is a high probability area. The trade scanner will start looking for longs again when this thing starts to give us bullish momentum. Like this thing starts pushing up to here, then the trade scanner will start looking for longs. But until then, it's going to be looking for shorts. You have to know which one carries more weight. The daily chart carries more weight. So if I see this as I'm describing right here, or if I see, it doesn't always have to be a pin bar, okay? What if I see this? What if I see a red candle, right? This bearish candle, because this is a sell signal developing here. This may be good for day trade shorts. Don't be confused. A day trade short is very small expectation. But let's say the next candle is a lower low that pushes right into there and it closes like that. That's possible, right? Over the next few days. That's very possible. But if it does not take out this range low here, if that is not taken out, and instead I get like a inside bar, or maybe I get like a piercing pattern, which is like basically like a full candle. It's a piercing pattern, kind of looks like this, where it like the low is like that, but it kind of goes back toward the middle of the previous candle. Like it starts to go through the 50% area like this, kind of like that. Those are bullish reversals. And if it's green like that, and I see that reversal, that's a high probability long. So that's the signal. And that can develop tomorrow. That can develop the next day, maybe going into Friday, possibly. I don't know. Markets are random. So there's no way to know. There's no precision to this, right? Now, here's the other thing. If that signal goes off, meaning we get the candle, takes out the high of the candle, now we have a swing trade. I can use my ATR, which I'm not going to do here, but I can use my ATR to figure out the stop and the take profit. I can use levels, and I personally use levels. I came up with that ATR. It's not my idea. That's a common idea. I just use that so that we can have automatic levels, right? And basically I can teach people who don't have experience to come up with levels quickly without struggling with a chart. It's a shortcut. I don't personally need that, okay? But anyway, it's good for the robot, and it's good for people because, again, like I said, it takes a lot of the confusion out of the picture. It simplifies things. The question is, if I get a signal, right, in this area, how much should I give it, right? Where should I put my take profits? Well, automatically, I'm thinking 30 to 31K, automatically, because that's the general resistance area, okay, up in here. I don't know if we'll get up there, but I'm willing to give that a chance. You understand that? Do you see how that works? I'm willing to give it a chance. If I get my signal here, this is my potential profit, because this thing is generally a strong market. We just, again, like I said before, we're in the middle of a slow time generally. So I don't know if we'll get a catalyst. It can come out of nowhere. Maybe the SEC comes out with some kind of ruling that no one expected. Who knows? And next thing you know, 2 candles, Bitcoin is up here. It can happen, right? Just like we had this nonsense over here, comes out of nowhere. So this is the area that I would give a chance as far as a swing trade. That's a few thousand points, right? If I'm getting long around 28, whatever, 29 even, whatever, and I'm putting it at 31 or something like that, that's a couple of thousand points. And my typical risk in a situation like that will probably be 1,500 points. I'm just estimating, I'm just guessing, but usually something like that, it's not going to be more than 2,000 points of risk. Okay, obviously, if it's a swing trade, I'm not going to be able to size the same way I would as a day trade. So sizing is a completely separate subject. I'm not going to talk about that now, but you get the idea. So are we clear on the potential scenarios for the next couple of days? Are you prepared? I want to know. Okay, again, TradingView people, if you're putting questions in there, I can't see them. So Stian has to be nice enough, or someone has to be nice enough to copy and paste them into the YouTube. Otherwise, people in TradingView, I'm sorry, come to YouTube, put the questions in there. I can't see your questions. Okay, I apologize in advance. I'll have that fixed for next time. All right. So are we clear on that? By the way, if you like what I'm talking about here, if you like my content, please do me a favor. Please press the like button. Please subscribe to the channel. Please press the boost button on TradingView. It helps me out a lot. And it helps me, I'm trying to build my brand on these channels. Obviously, social is not one of my strengths. So, that's an area that I'm working on. So anything that you can do to help me in that area, like subscribing and whatever, I appreciate it. Okay. Anyway, also make sure to check the links in the description if you're interested in the trade scanner and all that other stuff. Okay. Join my Discord community for free. There's a free trade scanner in there. You can play with that. Well, you can see the results of that soon when it starts putting out trade ideas. Okay, but it is online. All right, anyway, so are we clear? Any questions about Bitcoin in this Bitcoin situation? So the key takeaways, again, we are in a support area. All right, you do not want to be thinking shorts here on the swing trade time frame. If you're going to go for a day trade, it's going to be highly risky. All right, I mean, let's pull up the 4-hour chart real quick, because I know it called a short on Bitcoin, right? The scanner called a short on Bitcoin. And I don't have the scanner prices here. Maybe Steven, if you want to put them in the channel, I don't know exactly the price, but I know it called a short. It called Ethereum short, and yeah, it's going to call a short on this smaller time frame because in its eyes the momentum is bearish, right? But understand where you're shorting that. That's the key thing. Understand that the bigger picture carries more weight, And when you do your evaluation, the bigger picture is where you should begin, not the smaller picture. And then whatever you evaluate on the bigger picture applies to the smaller picture. So I know that we are at a support level and I should be extremely careful with shorts. I should not have any unrealistic expectations. If I can get a couple of 100 points out of Bitcoin as a day trade, that's a win. That's a big win if I can pull something like that. Here, so Steen just put it here, right? That's Ethereum. Do you have the Bitcoin one? Here's the Ethereum one. Thank you, Steen. That's what the trade scanner called on Ethereum. On the 30th, that was yesterday, right? It called it 1878 short. That was the notification price. So we're working on having the other two prices come out automatically, take profit and the stop. But you can figure those out by simply using your ATR. Again, I'm not going to do that here real quick, but let me see if I can pull up that Ethereum chart just to look at that. Hold on, where's my Ethereum on here? Let me just pull that up real quick. Here's Ethereum. All right, I could use this one. So, and this is Ethereum on the 4-hour. Oh, there's the Bitcoin one. Okay, so let me just put this Ethereum one. Let me just put this. This is Ethereum. Okay. I'm just gonna put a line on the notification price. Now, of course, look, the trade scanner is not perfect. It doesn't always call winning trades. That's the nature of this game. But it comes up with a lot of good ideas. And if you can apply your own context, that's where you can improve on it, especially if you know where to put your stops, when to put your stops at break even. That's like a key aspect of it, which again, I'll be educating people more on that as I can. 1878, right? So 1878 is here. That's the price, right? 1878. And let's see, it called it yesterday on the 30th. So let me just put that on here, right? 30th, right? So, and I can't, let me see, what's the time on that thing? 4 o'clock. So that's probably, it's probably one of these candles right here. I mean, look at that bearish pin bar. I mean, if you're a day trader, and that trade scanner pops out in the text channel, short Ethereum, and you pull up your 4-hour chart and you see a bearish pin bar. I mean, so actually there's a few. So the 30th, I'm going to highlight all the candles from the 30th. Let's see here. So this is basically all these candles inside of this rectangle here. This is the 30th. Okay, this pin bar here on the bottom is what? That's also the 30th, I guess so. Right. So that pin bar on the bottom is also the 30th. But this line right here, this horizontal line, is the price. That's the price that the trade scanner called short. Okay. And so look what Steen put here in the channel. Is that the Ethereum one? No, that's the Bitcoin one. So he put the take profit, the new message with the ATR bearish. Okay, so that's the Bitcoin one. He had the orders for the Ethereum one too. He shared that earlier. But just to give you an idea, 1878 short. This thing went as low as what? 1852 was the lowest point, and right now it's at 1856. So that's worth a little money, wouldn't you say? And especially during a tough environment with an absence of ideas, that's, there's some value there. That's the whole point. I mean, look, so he mentions Bitcoin. Let's just take a look at it real quick. All right. And then I'm going to get to your questions. Let's just take a look at that real quick. Because again, people don't appreciate the power of this thing. So at the same time, remember, I'm saying that you either avoid these or you're very conservative with them because these can go wrong, right? So here's Bitcoin, right? Here's the Bitcoin idea. Short BTC USD, right? 29,374. This was called on the 31st. That was earlier today, okay? Again, this is the trade scanner calling shorts in an area that I just finished telling you is a tough area for shorts, right? But again, if you're aggressive, you go small, you understand that this thing can turn on you anytime. It's low probability. But let's just see what's the result here. 29,374. Okay, so let's see. That's right here. Okay, that's 29,374. Okay, you see that? Now it says put the stop loss. This is the robot giving us these numbers. 29,533. right? That's where it says 29,533. Let's see where that is. 29,533 is up here. Okay, so it says put the stop there. And where's the take profit? 29,134. Okay, what's the low here? 29,115. Okay, what's the current low? 29,120. This thing said get out at 29,134. You knew these in advance when it called it out. Okay, that's the value of the trade scanner. And I said, oh, I want that. Right, Stian is working on it, so he's gonna. We're gonna have it soon, so that you see this text that you see here. It comes out in the Discord channel. Soon it will look like that. It doesn't look like that yet, but right now it just gives the entry price, and you have to calculate your own take profit and stop loss. But soon it's going to look like that. Okay, so I just wanted to give you a little preview there. You guys get that? All right. So anyway, keep in mind all that analysis that I said earlier. Just keep that in mind. That's your perspective. That's your context. So you know, okay, this thing may be a day trade short, but this is a swing trade long area. So you keep your expectations low and you take your profit if it's there. And keep in mind that there's a pretty good probability that you can get stopped out because this thing can turn the wrong way very quickly. All right, enough. Let's get into your questions, shall we? Again, TradingView people, I cannot see your questions. I apologize. So either come to YouTube to share your question, or if Stian can catch it, he'll put it in here. I apologize. Hey, Milad, good to see you. I'm just, I'm guessing you're there. All right, anyway, so let's go back and let me start answering some questions here, shall we? Okay, so Stian asks me early on here, can we look at the trade scanner on Binance Coin? Sure, BNB. Now, Stian, can you put the trade scanner, the text in the channel? So Binance Coin, this thing, the scanner has been bearish on Binance Coin forever. I mean, I don't think I've seen a bullish call on this thing. All right. So when you get a trade scanner notification, first thing you do is you go to the 4-hour chart. That's really where you should be judging the candles. Like I said, it's meant for swing trades, but you can use it for day trades. You just have to make some adjustments. So let's see if Stian can put that in there. So this is Binance. Now, so if you want to just refer to the particular trade, but I mean, let's just look at this. Let's just evaluate the structures here, right? This is what I'm about to do here is what you should be doing. There it is, right? So here's what Stian asked me. Can we look at the Binance trade, right? So this was what the trade scanner called this on 7/31. That's earlier today. Binance Coin, okay? And so look, he has the stop loss and the take profit. And the entry price was 242.40. That was the notification price. Keep in mind, when you get the notification, your price may not be exactly the notification price because you have to get into the market. The price may not be, you may not get that exact price, that exact timestamp. Just keep that in mind. But what price is that? 242.40. Let's just see. 242. Where is that? 242.40. That's around here. Okay, that's right around there. So if you're pulling up your chart and this is what you're seeing at the time, right? And it's telling you, okay, stop loss 243.95. Let's just put that there first. Where's 243.95? It's right around here. See that? 243.95. That's a pretty reasonable stop. But before you even get into the market, right? First thing you're like, okay, this thing called it a short. I'm thinking shorter term because Bitcoin is in generally a bullish area. That may drive this thing higher. But right off the bat, though, right off the bat, before you do anything else, look at this thing. Does this thing exactly look bullish to you? I mean, look at the resistance it's coming off of. That short makes a lot of sense. Look at this. Look at this area. That's basically the area that it's calling it off of, right? So that's a reasonable area for a short, first of all. So, okay, I would agree with that. You just have to keep that Bitcoin context in mind. But this thing, I mean, you say, well, what is the potential? This thing can test this low here. That's a pretty decent move. And the trade scanner will probably get you out before that. Okay. Where does it take profit there? 240. So 240 is like 240 is all the way up here, right? So, I mean, it has much more potential than that. So that's not bad. See, now in a situation like this, you don't have to blindly follow that take profit because there is more potential here, right? You could say, well, look at this. And this is not, it's not counter trend. right? This is actually, if anything, this is a range, right? If anything, this thing is in a huge consolidation. Look at that. That's a 4-hour. So this is going back a few weeks, right? So if anything, there's some potential even at the range lows. So if you want to be more aggressive, you could say, all right, well, I'm not going to use that 240. I'll make it a little bit bigger. I'll look for a little more. Is that within reason? Structurally, yes. So maybe you can go to 2-to-1 reward risk, or 2.5-to-1 reward risk, right? The initial 1.5-to-1, that's for your initial orders. So you are going to make adjustments, but the typical adjustment is moving your stop, not moving your take profit. So you could start out and say, I'm going to go 2-to-1 or 2.5-to-1. I'm going to give this thing more of a chance. And once I'm at 1-to-1, I'm going to move my stop to break even. That is the ideal thing to do. That is the best practice. That is the effective behavior, right? You get in the habit of doing that, not wondering and sitting, well, should I? Well, I don't want to miss out. Oh, well, no, it's okay. I'm at 1-to-1. I want to mitigate my risk. You may get stopped out for break even, but who cares? It's break even. I know that sucks when you're giving back money. I understand, but you're not losing money. The thing with the trade scanner is it's working on momentum, and that momentum can vanish very quickly, especially in this environment, and it can turn the wrong way on you and get stopped out. You don't want something that's green to turn red on you. Okay. So it's a best practice. Anyway, Steven, thank you for asking about Binance Coin with the trade scanner. That would be the answer for that. I hope that helps. But that quick run through that I went through there, that's what you should be doing if you're using the trade scanner, right? You have to have, that's why I tell people that thing is a great learning tool for learning how to trade, because it's taking a lot of the analysis, the initial analysis, taking that out of your hands, and you're focusing more on the order placement, which basically it's giving you the orders. But now you can focus more on the bigger picture and really gauge that potential, right? Because it's doing most of the work for you. But once you start learning how to apply it within context, I think that's really where the learning lesson is. That's where you can come away with the confidence. Because keep in mind, confidence comes from control, but you can't control the market. So where does it come from? Self-control. You have to be self-assured that, you're going to do this when this happens, right? Because if you don't follow your own rules, you're going to get exposed to larger magnitude risk. And that's usually when you get caught in something. I can tell you, I have a lot of experience with that. All right, let me move along here. Anyway, good question, Steven. Alex. All right, so this is the Alex that I was talking about before, who does everything. Can you take a look at TUP? Bought it 89 cents. Okay, I sold some. Okay, TUP, is that a stock? I'm guessing that's a stock. Let's take a look. TUP. Oh, Tupperware. Oh, sure. Okay. Oh, wow. Look at that. So that looks like some hype to me. Nice. Where you got this thing at 89 cents? What is the low on this thing? Let's see. Wow. 89 cents, huh? That's a great trade. 89 cents. I'm just curious, what got you into that? What got you into that, Alex? Damn, 89 cents is like there. Wow. Would have been nice if you called that one out in the channel, Alex. Where have you been? Anyway, look at that. But again, no one sees that coming, right? That looks like a hype machine to me. That looks like maybe they had a good quarterly report or something, or maybe they're getting bought out. That's certainly okay. So when you see something like that and you're long from an excellent price, first thing you should do is go to your weekly chart, okay? And you want to see levels. You want to see, where is this thing relative to the weekly chart? Man, this thing used to be a lot of money. Look at this thing. This thing, the recent swing high on this thing was 33.58. It went to 89 cents. Okay, anyway. So you want to find the resistance levels, right? That's what you want to be. That's what you want to note, the resistance levels. There's one right there. I guess that sort of mixes with this one here. And you have something around here somewhere. Here, I'll highlight this one right here. You have another resistance level right in this area here. Okay. Notice the origins of these resistances are basically coming from historical levels, right? You can project them forward. You are at one right now. So you've locked in some profit. Okay, cool. You've done your job. Now, you want to let some ride? Well, all I can tell you here is, if it's like an investment, you're thinking investment, and you've locked in some profit, your next area to lock in some profit reasonably would be up here. okay, which is the $11 area. Okay, that's quite a trade if it could make it up there. So keep in mind, you may have some, look at this price action in here. You see this? There may be some hesitation in that area. So don't let greed drive your decision making, right? If you get into this area here, which is going to be what is that? $7 around there. Don't hesitate to take something off the table there as well, just to lock something in, right? Because it may not, it's not going to go, it's not likely to go in a straight line. Like everyone sees the straight line. Oh, the next candle is going to look like that. Not likely. So you just want to look at these levels and be like, okay, there's resistance here. That's a place where you should take some profit, but you've taken some. All right, cool. There's a resistance in this area. You should put some limit orders there to get out of some. There's a resistance here. Put some limit orders to get out of some. And let's see if it gets there in the next few weeks or months, right? That's what you're looking at. But nice trade. Man, next time you got to tell us about that one, man. What's wrong with you? I'm joking. All right, but anyway, nice trade. Tupperware. Who knew? Okay, good question. Thank you for asking me about that one, Alex. So you want to buy some back. Should I sell more? Right. So if you're looking to buy some, yeah, exactly right. $2.50. What is this thing right now? $4 whatever. Yeah. So a half a pullback like that, sure, why not? I mean, you've locked in some profit, sure, why not? 50% pullback, 382 pullback. You could buy a little more on some kind of pullback if you want to just add some. That's the way to do it, by the way. This is the wrong time frame, but that's you got the idea, right? That's the way to do it. If you're going to buy some more, you buy it on the pullback. Nice job. Anyway, okay, cool. Thank you for bringing that one up. Okay, let me move along here. James, all right, please, if trade on 4-hour time frame, do you still wait for to close? Yes. Hey, James from London. Yeah, from London. I'm not going to make fun of London people anymore because I just learned that 100,000 of the world's billionaires are all in London. So I don't want to offend any billionaires. Yeah, my Londoners. Okay, so James, yeah, I wait for the 4-hour candle to close typically. But here's the thing. When it comes to like 4-hour, it's the current candle and the previous candle. Like, so for example, if the previous 4-hour candle gave me a pin bar, then I'm not waiting for the current candle to close. The previous candle is closed. I'm waiting for the current candle to take out the high of the pin bar. You understand? All right, so I hope that answers your question. Good question. From London. Okay. All right, Steen. Okay, cool. I said hello to you guys. Okay, Ramen, that was good. All right, so now here's a question from Popular Bulls from TradingView. Again, Steen, thanks, Steen, for putting your question in the channel here because I can't see the questions in TradingView. Can you take a look at Uni USD and the double bottom is shaping? Sure. Uni, let's take a look. Uni USD. Again, I apologize, TradingView. I apologize that I can't see your questions, but I'll have that fixed for next time. Okay, so this right here is a daily chart. Now, your question here, can you take a look at Uni USD and if a double bottom is shaping? Double bottom? Okay, so I'm on the daily chart here, right? You shouldn't be looking at any other time frame unless you are working on day trades. There's definitely not a double bottom here. All right, this is the correct symbol, I believe. If anything, maybe you meant double top or something, because what you have here is a potential failed high, right? And that's a double top variation. There's nothing bottom about that. So no, I would not agree with that. If you're interested in swing trades, again, we're talking about swing trades here, you need to find a support level or you need to wait for this thing to test the support level. Your first support is going to be around here somewhere, 580. So you can even round that to 550, something like that, like this little zone in here, this area right here, right? You get a pullback into that area and you get a reversal. That's where you're looking for your double bottom, not up here, okay? You're coming off of a high. This thing, if anything, you should be reducing risk, taking money off the table. You should not be, if you're anxious and you think you're missing out, man, you've got a long way to go, okay? That's a horrible place to be getting long. Nice looking structure though. I definitely like this. It's bullish. Definitely like that. But you're not at an attractive level. Compare that to Bitcoin. Bitcoin is at an attractive level on the bigger picture. Does that make sense? So think of the two together. Okay. So good question, Steven. August is the worst month. Okay, so I answered that question. From who Sion just whatever, that's the guy's name from TradingView. Yes, the bad volume is across all markets. Low volume is across all markets. It's a general seasonal thing across all markets. Do not use your volume histogram to arrive at this conclusion. Okay, it's an average volume thing. Hey Ben, okay, cool. Can you take a look at Doji? Sure, Doji coin. Okay, Elon Musk favorite, right? Let's see, Doji USD. All right. By the way, people, if you appreciate my stuff here, my content, please press the like button. Please press the subscribe button and check the links in the description if you're interested in anything. Okay. Now, so what do we have here? Dogecoin. This is the daily chart, right? What do we got here? Let's go to a weekly. Right? Why do I go to a weekly? Because I want to get a sense of the bigger picture. Right? The weekly carries even more weight. But the further out I go, like I'm not going to check a monthly. That's just not necessary. I just want to see like the levels that stand out here. So on Dogecoin, you have a support around here somewhere. What is that? Let me see. I can't read that. Hold on. Let me move that out of the way. That's around around 061, around there, right? That's your general support. Your general resistance is here. Okay, right now. So that's around 078. That is the range you are playing with. This is not a bullish trend, by the way. It's a bullish movement, right? But when I talk about trend, I'm usually referring to the bigger picture. So when we go to our 4-hour chart, like my students know, you can separate trend into 3 categories, right? We have the short term, the midterm, and the long term. Basically going back from like 1 month to 3 months, we can consider that short term. So, going back here, I mean, this right here is just a few weeks. So, going back a couple of months, right? That's a range bound. That's range bound, right? So we could say that's more neutral, range bound. And when you're in a range bound environment, generally, right? That's how we determine the general idea of the trend. You don't sit there and, oh, trend is bullish. That the short-term momentum is bullish, but on this bigger picture structure, look at this. You have a ton of resistance right there, right? You better believe people are going to be very happy to unload it on you if you're buying at those prices. So bad place to be buying. On top of that, price hasn't even made it back to that area, okay? And look at the problem that it's giving us now. This is certainly something you don't want to see when you're long. This is a double top, right? Clearly a double top. And is there a sell signal in there? Almost. You have an inside bar. Let's open this up real big so you guys can see, right? Look at this. Inside bar. No, actually, no, this is not exactly an inside bar, but it's almost. The current candle is an inside bar, and it's a bearish pin bar. And it's coming off of a double top pattern. That double top pattern is very near a resistance area. This is not even this would be more compelling if it was up here, right? But it's not, which could be even more weakness, right? Possibly. This can turn into a sell signal. So I would be careful though, because this can also just consolidate, right? And if this, you know how this one works. This is all hype and news. If there's some stupid news, right? Elon Musk is gonna, Doji is gonna be the official coin of Twitter. I mean X, or whatever the hell you call it. Okay, and then you'll see something like that. You'll see a candle that looks like that because it's a hype coin. You have to be careful of that. So I wouldn't be shorting this. I wouldn't be aggressively shorting this. I would prefer that the level is reached and it's not there yet. So this can go either way. So what do? You leave it alone. If you're long, maybe you unload some because it is showing some resistance. But my point is, we can't sit here and give it like a precise analysis and say, oh, double top, it's going lower. We can't say that because there are arguments for both sides here. And you don't want to get caught on one side. That's all I could really say about this. So I wouldn't buy this now. If I was going to go long, I'd want to see a failed low. I'd want to see something develop over here and then a reversal, right? And I would give that sort of a chance. And you say, well, you would do that in front of a double top? Well, yeah, because this is not bearish, right? This structure is bullish. So I'd be looking for this basically higher low to develop, right? Consolidation, higher low for one more leg higher into the resistance. I would look for something like that if the market were to deliver that. I don't trade this coin, but that's what I would look at. Okay. Otherwise, look at your general range area and realize that you're nearer a resistance. And the closer you get to that resistance, the lower probability longs will be. Does that make sense? All right, next. Let's move along here. A few more. Okay. Masen. Okay, cool. Appreciate that. Can you look at uni? Okay, got uni. Covered it. No, there's no double bottom. All right, went over that. Hey, Bill, just don't want to have manually replicate that for all the charts I'm watching. Okay, I'm not sure what you mean about that. If you're talking about the ATR, well, that's why we have the robot doing it. I'm not sure what you mean by that. Okay. I only follow you and a guy from Romania. Romania! Is his name Andrew by any chance? I'm joking. It's easier for you if you don't follow 1,000 people. It's not feeling like I put a lot of effort, but this bear market was pretty good. All right, so wait, what is this guy? Look at the Alex, what he says here. All right. It's not feeling like I put a lot of effort. This guy, that means he's passionate because he puts a lot of effort. Okay. I see how people come to my training program. I see what they do. I see what they don't do. He does everything. He watches every stream. He's everywhere. I mean, he's been following me for over a year. Okay. Alex from Romania, because I used to be very famous in Romania. Okay. So that's in his book. It's not effort because he's passionate, because he enjoys it. When you're doing something you enjoy, it's not effort, right? You just enjoy it. It's fun. Some people, they're only here just for money. They're not passionate about the markets, right? They're just here for, I just want to make $1 billion like everyone else on YouTube, right? And those people are going to fail. Those people are the ones that, we take the other side of their trades. That's just how it happens. Okay. I can't save everyone from themselves. Hey, Gabriel from Romania, another one from Romania. Is it right to say that it's retesting the inefficient zone from that bullish move? I'm not sure what you mean by inefficient zone if you're talking about Bitcoin, but I mean, I'm not sure what you mean by inefficient or how you're using that, but yeah, if you're talking about basically the failure, right? The failed low zone, yes, right. That's what I'd be looking for, right? A failed low, which is a variation of the double bottom. And is it inefficient? Well, what's happening there? I guess you can call that a temporary inefficiency if it gets into that zone, because what's happening is you have a lot of mindless shorts who follow frauds who tell them to go short, or they just go short because, they're following some nonsense on their chart. Okay. And they all get short, and they're shorting into an area where there are a lot of people buying, but they don't see that, or we can't see that either. But I suspect they're there. And when I see the confirmation that they're there, now I know, and I go long, right? Because we have the confirmation. At this point, I can only suspect or anticipate that they're there. These shorts that get in, they get caught. And when they get caught, they now have to buy to get out. That's what causes the squeeze, right? They contribute to the squeeze dramatically. And that gives us a high probability setup. So I hope that answers your question, Gabriel. Okay. I had a lot of, okay. Yeah, I appreciate that, you guys. I mean, really, I've watched a number of fake gurus, okay? Because I watch them for their marketing skills. And let me tell you, I don't know how people, people, this is the conclusion I've come to. People are irrational. You can't save them from themselves. And people want to be lied to. It's that simple. When someone tells you that there's hope and that you're going to be okay, and that you're going to make $1 billion by next month, you just have to follow a few things, you're going to listen to that guy too, right? Because he's giving you hope. You realize that these people are capitalizing. They make money on your attention. Your attention is actually worth money, but to them. And that's what they're doing. So if they can hold your attention, they're making money. Whether you pay them or not, you're paying them in attention, and they convert that to money. All right. How long are you looking to take that trade? Back to the range? Okay, I answered that question, Bill. Good question. Yearly highs, no. Okay, so you remember, right? So I explained that. I hope you got the answer. 31K is reasonable. We don't know where Bitcoin's going. Do I believe it's generally bullish? Well, the structure says that, but that can change. So swing trade, I'm looking to get out. If I can do better than 1.5 to 1 reward risk, I'm looking to get out. If I could do 2 to 1, I'm very happy. But 1.5 to 1, it's because I'm looking at the probability of the exit, not how much money. right? Everyone, I want to maximize because I want to buy my Lamborghini by tomorrow, right? That's what everyone looks at. They look at the maximize. I look at the high probability. I want a high chance of getting out of this trade green. I don't care how much it is. I just want to be green. I want to be right often. I want the market to reward me often. I don't care how much it is. So it's the probability of the market reaching your price, not how much money you make. The further away you put that take profit, the lower probability it's going to get reached. Okay. Okay. Hey, Ahmed. Good. Cool. And I appreciate that, you guys, because again, I can't see the questions on TradingView. So I apologize for that. I apologize. I will have that fixed. Okay. So anyway, okay. Okay. As I see a Russian name over here. Okay. No problem. Russian name. I can't pronounce that. Anyway. All right, you guys, you know what? Let me see. I'm just going to have to scan through these questions very quickly. If I miss a question, I apologize. What is your advice on how to risk proper to take on a trade scanner signals percentage of capital? Well, all right, good question. I can answer that quickly. Typically, you want to be, it's going to depend if it's a day trade or a swing trade, but a general rule of thumb, I typically suggest 1%. Okay. The industry standard is 2%, but I like to use 1%. If you're feeling more aggressive, 2%, right? Also, it's going to depend on how large your account is. That may play a role in how much, but 1%. If you're feeling particularly conservative, 0.5%, right? That's what you should be looking at. And especially for you should not be risking 3%, 5%, 10%. You should not be doing that, especially on smaller accounts. But here's the problem. When you have a small account, like $1,000, I'm not saying you do, but you know what I'm saying. People tend to take bigger risks because they want to make money. So they'll risk 10% of, $1,000 account. That's only $100, right? But that's 10% of the account. So if you're wrong 10 times, you wipe out the account, right? That's why you can't do that. But people say, oh, but I want to make money. You're not going to make money with $1,000. That's the part you have to get through your head. But when they see some fraud, oh, I turned $1,000 into $50,000 in just 3 days, right? You think you can do that too. It's a fraud. It's fake. That's a dream. No one can do that. I mean, I guess anything is possible, but the chances, I have a lot of experience and I know I can't do that, right? That's talk about just a random roll. That's all that is, right? And that's all these people that show $1,000. It's fake. It's fake. Stop being fooled by YouTube, please. Not you, Raman. You know what I'm saying? I'm just ranting right now. All right. Anyway, good question. I can't remember how I got to my how it got on my radar. I like that I was buying. Oh, okay, Alex. Well, that was a nice call. Very nice. May have to make you a moderator or something. I'm joking. Okay. June 22, bottom of uni sounds like. Okay. I also have Upstart. Oh, I remember that. Next, I'm going for Jivo. Well, cool. Thanks for letting us know, Alex. I'm going to have to put those on the radar, see what they look like. Not really double bottom until market structure changes. Still lower high for now. Okay. I'm going over the things here. Hold on. To me, Doji isn't a great short coin with the pump. Okay. Recent momentum price action has been uninspiring. Yeah, I don't like that coin, honestly. I think it's a hype coin. Kind of like remember GameStop, remember AMC. Remember Shiba. How many times have you seen frauds? This thing is going to go up 50,000%. I can feel it. How many times have you seen that? Okay, it's nonsense. I saw that XRP is going to go to 500. I saw that one. Come on, man. Really. All right, and that thing had thousands of views, by the way. Okay. All right, you guys. So again, I'm sorry about the TradingView thing. I'll have that fixed. So TradingView people, I could not see your questions. So Steen was nice enough to put some of them in here and some of you joined in here. So I appreciate that. Okay, you guys. So again, if you have any other questions, you know where to find me. When you send me messages on TradingView, it's hard for me to answer those. So if you come to the Discord community and you ask me questions there, you can send me a private message. I'm happy to answer your questions. Okay. It's much harder to get back to you here on this platform. So, again, just please be patient with that. Otherwise, thank you for watching. If you have anything else, if you'd like to become a member or whatever, check the links in the description. It's all there. If you haven't pressed the like button or subscribe button, please do that. I really appreciate it. Anyway, thank you all. Enjoy the rest of your day, the rest of your evening, wherever you are in the world. And thank you very much for watching.